When the chaos of the deadly tornado ended a week ago today, dazed residents of Moore, Oklahoma were left to clutch the living, even as they scrambled to find the missing. The awesome damage was so close at hand, but so too stories of heroism. Tonight, a mother and her daughter bring one of those to life in a tale of 5 extraordinary minutes for one ordinary family. But it's especially the story of a 10-year-old girl and her remarkable calm in the middle of the storm. Here's the CBC's Paul Hunter.
It kept getting closer and it started ripping the roof off, and the roof is metal, so it ripped off slowly.
My mom had called me and she said, "It's gonna flatten your house."
My house is down
So our best bet might be able to go down here, get on the street, and then we'll start curving around to where it is.
On the streets of their little corner in Moore, Oklahoma, there are still streets, but not much of anything else.
So these were all houses?
Yeah, that's what all this was. These line the park.
Tara Moore and her daughter Michaela are among the thousands of Oklahomans suddenly now without a home or even a neighborhood.
It's hard to, you can't really take it in, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you take it in, that's when you break down and you can't keep going.
The twister that roared through here tore this place apart with its near unimaginable wind speeds of 340 kilometers an hour. 340.
The houses that you drive by and, you know, people's cars you see that, you know, oh, I waved at them, or I say hey to them every morning or every afternoon or whatever, going to get the kids, or, and you just see, you know, their house, and it's just everybody, you know what I mean? This is everybody. It's happened to everybody.
Tara's been home once since the storm hit, but this is Michaela's first trip back to the place they used to know. Now they might as well be on another planet.
Like people say that when you look around, if you knew this neighborhood before, you don't recognize it now.
No,
almost.
that's what I'm saying. It's hard to find our house. Like right there, I can see that that's the hospital.
The tornado was fierce. It killed 24 people, but it was random. It leveled whole blocks, and then only a few meters away, it left some houses standing, such as Tara's. The next street over was flattened. Her place is ruined nonetheless. That's it there.
Can we go up and take a look?
Yeah.
The twister lifted her whole house up just a fraction, then dropped it back on the foundation. Water poured in through the gouged roof, and the place is soaked. This is the master bedroom.
And then, of course, you can't save anything in here because it has all the insulation all over it. Like this still has my baby stuff in it.
It's not easy, is it?
No.
Much of what's here will be left behind. They're salvaging what they can.
You want this?
Yes.
Okay. Fold it up and go put it in the car.
One spot left intact and dry, a pillow on the closet floor, where Tara and her 9-week-old baby, Mia, wearing a bike helmet, cowered as the storm raged closer.
And my mom had called me and she said, "It's gonna flatten your house. It's gonna get the warren come to my house. Maybe you can get saved over here." So we jumped out of this closet, and I just jumped in the car and ran over there and made it into her closet right before it hit.
The twister missed her mother's place, and they were all fine. But it didn't miss 10-year-old Michaela. What we haven't told you is that when the tornado hit, Michaela was at school. At that school, Plaza Towers Elementary, the storm's ground zero where 10 children died.
Everybody's screaming, like screaming as loud as they can. and it sounds almost as loud as the tornado. It's pretty loud. Everybody was screaming.
She'd always been told school bathrooms are the safest place in a tornado, so Michaela sat there, huddling with her teacher as it hit full force.
I kept praying and praying and praying, and I just kept praying and praying, just a bunch of times. That's about it. I was saying, please have a bubble over each and every one of us, and have your hand over each and every one of us. Don't let anything hurt us. Amen.
Of course, at the time, her mom had no idea. She'd been certain the twister had missed the school. But when Tara raced over afterward, just to make sure, the closer she got, the greater the destruction and the more her heart pounded. And when she saw what was left of the school, her heart sank. When you first saw Michaela's school,
what
did
they
you
were dead.
think?
They were dead. I was just like, my kids are dead. And after I just kept yelling at my brother, I was like, Garrett, they're dead. They're dead. I know it. They're dead.
Tara ran through the dazed survivors, helping who she could along the way until she found Michaela and her brother Damien alive and unhurt. Just to give you more of a sense of the horror of the moment that little Michaela was talking about, this is one of the classrooms at the school. And inside, I mean, it's everything you would expect to see in a classroom. Desks, books, bits of paper, games, except there's nothing you'd expect to see in a classroom. Everything is a shambles. The ceilings have fallen in. Whatever was here, the glass is gone. So Michaela went out the door and headed toward the place that she thought would be safe, the girls' room, and hid in a stall. But even here, the whole place is a wreck. The roof, gone. While we were there, also poking about in the debris, a few of the school's teachers still trying to make sense of it all. As it turns out, among them, Michaela's own grade 4 teacher, Kimberly Martinez.
She is an incredible girl. She's my hero for being so calm and just being calm and praying for us, though.
It was Kimberly who huddled with Michaela in the washroom. She showed us where. Her memory of that moment is all Michaela.
Michaela was very calm. There were kids that were praying, screaming, and crying the whole time, and Michaela just had her head covered, and after it was over, she lifted stuff off of herself, and we were just picking stuff off that fell from the roof, and she looked at me and she said, Mrs. Martinez, I knew we were going to be okay because I prayed that God put us in protective bubbles. Here's her agenda. I think it said her name in it. Yeah, there it is.
Michaela Moore. In her visit back to the school, Kimberly found Michaela's backpack, her books and paperwork still inside. Later, we gave it back to Michaela, a tiny piece of her old world. Is that yours?
Yep.
It's wet, but it's all in one piece. Homework.
It's not homework, it's coloring.
Her family's new world? Well, her dad, Wes, found some old photos intact. That's a start.
Just some keepsakes. Yes.
That's a nice shot.
We seem to have it all together. We seem to be all calm, cool, and collective. But when you have those moments that you sit down and you stop and you start thinking about it, that's when it gets upsetting and it starts sinking in.
Family can't be replaced. All this can be replaced. Family can't.
It'll take a while, but their place and their lives will get repaired. They hope. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Moore, Oklahoma.